billion of spending that was basically wasted. He's voted for cap and trade, which if you look at your gas prices today, when you go up to fill your car, just add another 50 cents on top of that is what that would have put on. Your utility bills would be up 20-25% if that were put in place. He's voted for increased taxes. I have voted against these things, and I think there will be a very clear difference as to understanding of how an economy works, and that we've got to get the government out of the way. The health care bill is something that is just stifling job creation in this country, especially with small businesses that he supported. I voted against, and I strongly oppose. We've got to repeal that because it's killing jobs. People are uncertain about the future, what it's going to cost them. If you're a small business person like I am, who's had to make a payroll in the past, who understands the cost of investing and there's opportunity, but there's still the chance of failure. And right now, people are saying, I'm going to protect everything I have because we've got all of these new taxes, these new regulations, these new mandates coming at me that he has supported, that I have opposed, and I think there'll be a very, very clear difference in this next election.
Are any of those mandates constitutional?
In my mind, certainly the individual mandate that's saying that you have to purchase a product in the private market is certainly unconstitutional. There's no question about it.
Did you? I don't know the answer to this, but did you sign on with Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann and Congressman King to resist this?
I voted to repeal Obamacare. I will continue to vote to defund it every way possible. Yes, absolutely.
All right. Let's talk to some more folks. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it. This is Charlie. Good morning, Charlie.
Yes. I just wanted to comment about your comment about the killing of bin Laden.
Yes.
The SEAL team that went in there is specifically trained in CQB, where other SEAL teams are highly trained also, but this particular group that's what their speciality is. So when they go into that compound, the amount of firearms and stuff like that he had access to, they probably left no chance or, any choice for it other than what they did as far as killing him.
Well, he had one AK-47 leaned up against the wall, and he had a Soviet-made Makarov pistol in his room. That's what he had access to. They received almost no resistance whatsoever.
Well, I'm not a fan of Obama, but I do give him credit for, at least standing up and giving the order to go in there and get him. I'm with you as far as the pictures. I believe they should be released to the public so that whatever closure, whatever you want to call it, that, like you said, we paid for it, so
yeah,
we got to
absolutely.
be able to see it.
Hey, thank you, Charlie.
Thanks. Bye.
He had phone numbers and money sewed into his robe. He was according to his wife said, he hadn't left that compound in 5 years. But I have some sound from Christiane Amanpour from 2008, who was in the middle of a comedy conversation on the Bill Maher program, I think it was, basically said, hey, he's living in a villa in Pakistan. Everybody knows he's living in a villa in Pakistan. And that was ignored. And people have been basically, the CIA even had a house there in the same town where Osama bin Laden was holed up. This doesn't pass the smell test as far as I'm concerned, Congressman Latham.
Well, I'm glad it's done. Whether or not there were other reasons why it happened, last Sunday or whenever, but thank God that he is finally brought to justice. And I commend the president for doing it, saying that to give the go-ahead. The one thing that is very unfortunate, I think, is that President Bush doesn't get the kind of credit that he deserves for setting up the interrogations so that we could get the information that finally led us to him. Now, whether there are tactical reasons for not going ahead earlier, I don't know. And that's a story I think that we've got to find out. We had a briefing, from Leon Panetta, from the CIA, from the military leaders to the members of Congress last week, and I was very disappointed in the information that we got. I mean, anything that you heard in this supposedly classified briefing, you could read in the paper. They're not coming forward really with a lot of new information, and I would expect and I would hope that we could get a lot more information coming down in the near future.
Well, I'm not really arguing here. I'm just saying we've expended trillions of dollars chasing these varmints around the world. We've got National Guard units, just 2 or 3 terms in Afghanistan, all of it to chase down these terrorists and get Osama bin Laden. We've spent 10 years chasing this varmint down, who's apparently been sitting for the last 5 to 6 of it at that villa in Pakistan, fully known to a lot of people. And we pulled a trigger last week, and we sent people in to just blow him up and just shoot him. He's a treasure trove of intelligence. We shoot him in the head and drop his body in the water. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. I'm just a generic Iowan here, and I just don't get any of this.
Well, I think it's very unfortunate the administration even said that they picked up the computers and all this information. That wasn't necessary, because basically what that tells Osama bin Laden's associates is that they better move and they better find a new hiding place.
There's a CIA safe house just down the street from this guy. I mean, the fact that they didn't know this guy was there all this time just doesn't make any sense.
I don't disagree with you at all, Jan, but I'm just telling you there may be tactical reasons why they didn't go ahead earlier.
I have a feeling we're gotten played, and I don't like I know I'm a little paranoid, and you think I'm nuts, but that's all right.
I would never say that.
I know you would never say that, but at least not to my face.
You're a great friend.
A brief time out, back in a moment at 1040 WHO. Congressman Tom Latham is here in the studio. We have lots of folks who would like in on the conversation. This is Lonnie. Good morning, Lonnie.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Jan.
Hi.
Got a question for Congressman Latham. That I've heard that there is a bill being pushed around the Senate that they want to tax car mileage. And I'd like to ask him if he knows anything about that.
And they're doing a trial run up in Minnesota on that.
They are?
Yeah. Or they're at least thinking about it.
Is that the state of Minnesota doing it up there? Okay.
I just read an article about that because they're not bringing in the tax dollars because everybody's getting better gas mileage. They don't have enough money to fix the roads. So they want to meter and charge you by the mile.
Lonnie, let me just say that whether it's in the Senate, this proposal has been out there. Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood a year ago made this proposal, and it was soundly beaten back by a lot of folks who want to have their efficient vehicles now and not pay any road use tax. In essence, the administration's come out with $556 billion new highway bill with no way to pay for it, whether you talk about gas taxes, whether you talk about road use mileage taxes, but it's a proposal I think that's going nowhere and is not something that we're going to be looking at right now in any way, shape, or form. The new highway bill is going to be based on what current receipts are, not these new initiatives.
Congressman Tom Latham, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Jan. Great to be with you.
Views expressed are those of the host, guests, and callers, not necessarily those of News Radio 1040 WHO.